And the first question we have up this morning, Coach, is from Dan Roach from WBZ TV.
Morning, Ime. Just a thought of maybe a general question of with what you guys have done starting all the way back in January, what can you take as a team that you've learned, even learned in this series, into Game 7 coming up Sunday night?
Well, first off, we've been a resilient group, overcome a lot of things this year. And just in general, within the series and the playoffs, nothing has been easy. And that's the way the season has gone. And so it's almost like we need to take the harder route at times and put ourselves in that situation due to some of the things we've done in this series and understand the big picture and what's still in front of us. We put ourselves in the opportunity to have 2 games to win one, and we'll have to go finish it down in Miami now.
Next up, Mark Murphy.
Hi, Ime. I know you guys have shown great resilience over this stretch, but you guys have also lost your poise at certain points. Just what do you put that on?
A lot has to do with our starts and having to play catch up the whole game. We understood the situation Miami was in last night and didn't come out with our best basketball in the first quarter, defensively and offensively. Playing behind the 8 ball most of the game. Although we got the lead late or tied it quite a few times, it felt like we were always playing an uphill battle and shooting ourselves in the foot. And so we'd like to obviously get off to better starts, put some pressure on the opponent when they're in that situation, similar to what we did against Milwaukee in Game 7. And so that's our mindset coming in. Obviously, going into Boston, we want to play better on the road to start the game. And like I said, last night, we have confidence going down there, winning 2, but can't rely just on that. We have to get ourselves off to better starts, take care of the basketball, and not give them easy baskets and give them life early in the game.
Mark, you have a follow-up question?
They limited Jason and Jalen to 7 shots in the second half. Obviously they're not doing anything you guys haven't seen before. You're used to the way they play defense. Just what do you pin that on, and what can your main guys do to free up?
Well, they blitzed Jason quite a few times in the second half, whether he was handling the ball, got out of his hands, and he made other guys make plays. And they did that. Obviously, Derek was going as well, so he had the lesser defender on him. He took advantage of that quite a few times, especially off the blitzes. Whenever Jason got the ball in the middle, whether he was a screener or recipient of a pass, they were crowding and taking out of his hands as well. And then part of that is the turnovers. We had quite a few turnovers between those 2 guys. Overall, Jason having 7, I think, turnovers, and Jalen with 4. And so a lot of those shot attempts that we could have had were turned over playing in the crowd a little bit there. But like you said, nothing we haven't seen this year. Derek had it going quite a bit, but also those guys trying to make the right play. And so getting shots up instead of turnovers, other guys being the recipients, and they made quite a few shots off of Jason's double teams.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, Ime. One, I wanted to ask about the challenge on the Grant foul. What went into that? It probably just would have resulted in just a made basket and no free throw. And did you regret that eventually, especially after the Tatum offensive foul? And why no Robert in the fourth quarter? And how did he come out of the game physically?
With the Grant foul, we felt Butler kicked his leg out to initiate some of the contact. And that's what we saw in the replay. And then when my guys on the bench triggered it, it was due to him initiating the contact, kicking his leg out. So that was that one. There are always instances in the game where you use it early and regret, not having it late, or vice versa. You don't use it and then end up not using it. So at that point, obviously we had fought ourselves back into the game and just felt that Butler initiated the contact. With Rob overall, he was playing solid, no doubt. He was fine with that. It wasn't anything physical. Now we've tried to manage his minutes a little bit, and him getting up to 26 is a high mark since he's been back with the injuries. And so just more so a result of Al making a big 3, Al making some plays down the end there. And that's what we went with. Nothing to do with Rob physically. And we know he's not at 100%. And he's continuing to push through that, but it's like I said, game to game, playing a little bit more, feeling a little bit better, and we hope to have them obviously game for Game 7.
John Corrales.
Ime, you talk about making the right play and them crowding Jason and Jalen, blitzing and all of that stuff. What's the balance there between them having the ball in their hands and making the right play versus, finding some sort of way to put them in a position to make a play for themselves, and kind of like have that, rely on your stars a little bit to go get you a bucket?
Yeah, it's both. It's obviously early in the game, if they're going after them, we encourage them to get off the ball, and their defense will kind of break down. It'll open up for them later in the game. Guys were making enough plays off of them, but at the same time, we want those guys to stay aggressive at all times, find their opportunities. And like I said, I think a lot of those, we had some turnovers in the pocket, passed up a few open shots and kind of drove into traffic, and just encouraged them to be aggressive as far as that. And so obviously the number of field goal attempts on their part was low for a half. Miami, that was their job to try to take it out of their hands. But like I said, Derek had it going a little bit, but we always want them to stay aggressive and make the right play. But at the same time, they are our scorers, they are our leading scorers. And obviously in the fourth quarter, we need them to bring it home. So we can do a better job of finding them, getting them the ball, and putting them in spots, knowing how the defense is guarding them.
Final couple of questions, Coach. First one from Tim Reynolds.
Ime, good morning. I'm obviously you would have preferred to have ended it last night, of course, but Spo said after the game that he just thinks it's the only fitting way for this to end after all they've been through this year. I think you can say the same. You guys have been through a ton. I guess just how much as a competitor do you sort of relish, a Game 7, no matter where it is? Does it seem like the fitting end after how back and forth this series has been, how much both teams have kind of gone through all year?
Yeah, I would say so. It's not only this series for us, it's been all season long. And even in, these playoffs, it hasn't been easy. The Brooklyn series was a sweep, but like I mentioned, that was separated by 18 points total. So it was a hard fought series. Obviously Milwaukee, we had to battle ourselves back from 2 elimination games. And this one has been up and down, and a lot due to what we're doing. We could be better for sure. But for us, it's just another opportunity. And like I said, you put yourself in this position going up 3-2 to have 2 games to win one. And so as much as you love to finish it on your home court, we've been up and down in this series. And due to that, it's where it is right now. And so we can be much better. We've won 2 games there, and we carry on the road well, carry our defense, carry our game, and don't really get fazed by that. So going into Miami was nothing new for us. It's just another opportunity, and we obviously see the big picture ahead.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Safe travels, and we'll wrap it up right there. Thank you.
Thank you.